Good morning, LaSalle. I'm Charlie Boucher.
I'm Pat Daly.
And welcome to WLSA. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving break?
I did. It was great to be able to spend time with my family and relax.
Me too, but it's also great to be back at school. Let's start this episode by sending it off to an alumni segment with Mr. Ritchie.
Hi everyone, I'm Luke and welcome back to another alumni segment. Today I'm joined by one of my favorite LaSalle teachers and I'm sure one of yours, Mr. Ritchie. All right, Mr. Ritchie. So can you sort of tell us what you're doing now here at LaSalle?
Thanks, Luke. I appreciate you having me on and for the kind words as well. So I'm in my 16th year at LaSalle. For every single year that I've taught here, I've been a world history teacher, which is what I teach youth this year. And I've taught American government, AP US government for about 13 years now. And so that's what I've done. I graduated in 2000 and was a member of the hockey team when I was here as a student. And I've done a little bit of coaching, both in hockey, golf, and I actually coached the De La Salle middle school team about 4 or 5 years ago with Mr. Emerson. So right now, I'm not coaching anything, but I've enjoyed my time both here as a student and a teacher, especially this year now that I have you.
That's great, thank you. So what did you do right after LaSalle? Once you graduated, how did your journey bring you here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I went to the University of Rhode Island for undergrad, and I always had an interest in history. I was fortunate enough to have Mr. Martin, who's now vice principal, for 3 years, 2 years for history and then 1 for legal studies. And he was a big inspiration for me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do coming out of URI. I got my undergrad in history and political science. But I didn't know where that would take me. But I did have a good relationship with the folks here at LaSalle, even back then when Brother Michael was the president, and some others were here. So I reached out to them. Like I said, I didn't really know what I was going to do. And actually the year before I started teaching, I was more of a long-term sub. And then a job opportunity opened up. And I was fortunate enough to get it. I actually got hired on my 23rd birthday. And that first year was very difficult, as I'm sure it is for most young teachers. But I was able to get through it. And like I said, 16 years later, I never thought I would even teach for 1 year or ever even become a teacher. But here I am as I think the second or third oldest member of the social studies department, which is kind of crazy.
Wow. Well, we're glad you came back. Thank you so much for joining me today with Mr. Ritchie. I hope you guys have a great day, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Luke.
Now that we're back, clubs and activities are continuing at LaSalle.
Even though we're still in hybrid mode, many groups are coming up with creative ways to continue doing what they love.
Let's send it off to the arts segment for an interview.
Hey guys, it's Cole and Courtney. We're back, and we're here to talk to you about theater and how it's going to be different this year. We're going to talk to you a bit about the exciting things to look forward to.
So Mr. Haynes, how has the audition process been different throughout COVID-19?
Actually, to be honest with you, the audition process was, even though it took me longer to cast the 2 shows, because unlike years past, it's 1 show at a time, I was juggling 2 cast lists at the same time. But believe it or not, it was actually easier because everybody's audition time was scheduled. So just from a volume point of view, I saw probably the same amount of auditions in half the amount of time.
All right. How challenging has it been to be running and planning 2 shows at once?
It's, as a director, you always kind of think in three dimensions. I kind of think of myself as an artistic air traffic controller. So that there's a flight taking off, so that's maybe the auditioning process, and you're waiting for an airliner to come in, and that's reading the next script. And you just try and coordinate keeping 2 plays on the right flight path to success.
And could you tell us a little bit about the shows that you have planned for this year?
Sure. The first one is The Lion in Winter. We went with a smaller cast show just because of COVID-19 restrictions. And we haven't done an American drama in quite a while. The last one was All My Son, so it's been about a decade since we hit that genre. And then the second play was something that we're familiar with. It's a Christmas story. It's a little bit larger, so it was a little bit later in the season, so we thought we might have ironed out some of the rehearsal bugs with a smaller cast. And it's just much more user-friendly as a radio play with the current pandemic and keeping actors safe and director's say for the audience say, which is precisely why we chose The Miracle on 34th Street as our Christmas installment this year as a radio play.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make sure to get involved in theater this year.
Yeah, guys, if you'd like, there's a Google Classroom code for Tech Crew available under the Daily Bulletin on Blackboard. Back to you guys.
Wow, I'm looking forward to see these plays. I know Mr. DeLeo and Mr. Brouillard have been working hard on Christmas at LaSalle as well. The arts are alive and well on Academy Ave this December.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
From all of us here at WLSA, I'm Pat Daly.
I'm Charlie Boucher.
Have a great day.
And a better tomorrow.